Oh, that hurts. Okay, so on my way to get a bit of a physical assessment on my full body before I embark on this journey. Well, actually, I'm already on the journey now. Okay, just getting all my gear in place. I'm about to head on to One Iron Golf to get a TPI assessment done, to just assess how, quite some today, just assess how my body is, so that I don't continue to try and keep swinging it like I'm 14 years old, out my skin, know my limitations, can work through exactly what I need to work on properly, fitness wise, and then also just ultimately get an understanding of how my body's moving, what I need to work on, what my limitations are, so that I can rebuild my swing properly. Okay, not exactly sure how this is going to go. I have been trying to get my fitness back into shape, and a lot of that will come to a head as I train for this ride to the Open that I've signed up for. That will definitely get my butt into gear. But yeah, no, this TPI screening is quite an important one, actually. I was actually speaking to David Phillips, who actually invented breaking the screen, who actually invented this whole process as part of the Tightest Performance Institute, whilst I was at Live, and had a chance to ask him a few questions about it, and yeah, it seemed really, really intriguing. Never actually pursued it to the level that I'm going to now, but a lot of professionals go out to their unit out in San Diego, get all wired up, and do all these screening processes, and ultimately discover kind of what elements of their game are set themselves apart versus areas of game that they can work on. And they've got all of this data and analysis that can help fuel development of your game, but then also your physical abilities to play the game and excel in areas that you can. So yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see what the outputs of this TPI assessment are, or is. Assessment is, whatever. Look forward to kind of seeing the outputs of it. I'm not sure if Chris, who I'm going to see, will let me record the session, but I'll ask him and see what's what. But either way, I'll analyse it off the back of it, and we shall see what it helps me or informs me to do off the back of it. Cool. So all arrived a bit early. So just parked up in the car park. But yeah, first time I've been to One Iron Golf, actually. I should actually get down here more. I did inquire about it last summer, but obviously built my own little garage setup, so I've been trying to utilise that as much as possible. But I think could definitely benefit from getting all the accurate numbers from the TrackMan and the actual proper setup. We'll be intrigued to see kind of what Chris says about my assessment, physical abilities, and how I can take that into my game as I rebuild my swing around what I'm capable of, but then also in parallel to how I'm training my body to try and get it into the best possible shape, so that I can practice harder and in and around obviously the working life and the family life, and we'll see how it goes, and might be down here a bit more often to get those numbers dialed in versus kind of what I've got set up in the garage. Okay, so TPI assessment done. Okay, the biggest issue I have is with my hips. So my hip mobility is very, very bad. So I'm going to go through a course that is going to hopefully fix this. But the advice that I got from Chris. He didn't want to be on camera well, he didn't say that he didn't want to be on camera, but I didn't want to put him in a position that would be a bit weird. So I didn't film the session, but I'm going to get the full download and analysis. And we spent a good hour and a half talking about the TPI process. We obviously went through the TPI assessment. But yeah, I'll get basically a blueprint of the things that I can do to correct some of the issues that they found. But yeah, the biggest takeaway from it was my hip and range of motion in my hips is leading to me to kind of move my weight into the outside of my foot. But we'll go through that in a bit more detail once I've got the assessment through and what I need to do to fix that. But yeah, didn't advise changing anything in my swing for the time being. But yeah, really working on the ability to rotate and move my hips better, so that that can be translated to my swing and see what that naturally does to my swing once I've got a greater ability to rotate my hips both that way and the other way. So I will take you guys through that when I get the assessment back, and we can go through and break it down, and I'll try and overlay some clips from some of the stuff that Dave and Chris teach, Dave Phillips, and what Chris is advising me on as I go through incorporating that into my daily training program. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's swing one here to see if I can get some of those feelings of that hip and weight. Oh, that hurts. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Cool, so the assessment is in, and I'll just take you through some of these screen results. So you can see exactly what we're dealing with here. Okay, so let me flip the camera around. Ooh. There we go. Cool, so this is what you get logged into. So you get a kind of a login to this TPI Pro Center, and then it just goes through exactly kind of the outputs of what Chris assessed me on. So there he is. So I'll take you through these one by one. So screen results. So we'll go through the screen results first. You can see here, let's make this full screen. There we go. So you can see here, there's a bit of red on the board, and then even here, there's even more red on the board. So let's go through them one by one. But I obviously went through a bit of this with Chris on the in the session, and ultimately these three things here are what led us to the conclusion that the first and biggest area that I can improve is my hip rotation. So my training program is kind of orientated about kind of getting as many of these reds and ambers to green. So I won't go through each one, but you can see the first. This is kind of the main one. That was the issue: the ability to turn my hips fully, which is one of the biggest areas that can that improving on can help with a lot of my game. We also went on the force plates there as well. Had a quick analysis of my swing. So a lot of this kind of leads into that, but I'll do more videos on going into a bit more of those details. But yeah, ultimately there's a lot of kind of things because of my my physical reds and ambers. There's a lot of things that could lead to here. So the key ones for me, I've got a bit of a sway in my backswing because of my inability to turn my hips properly in my backswing. I'm swaying to try and get that depth in my backswing, and then also a few other things that could happen. Loss of posture. A lot of these are kind of hypotheticals as opposed to actually affecting directly your swing. All of these things because of my screen test. So it's a kind of process of elimination check when then we start looking at my swing in more detail
on the cameras, and then identifying which ones are actually being affected. But yeah, very detailed analysis here, and ultimately this gives us the ability to build a training program, which I'll show you here. So Marc's RX60. So then I've got basically a 60-minute training program that I should be doing. Chris was saying, if I did it kind of every day for the next week or 2 weeks, then that's where I'd see quite drastic changes. But also, if I don't have the time, the ability to do 15 to 30 minutes a day is better than just doing one of these sessions a week. So yeah, trying to get that consistency with the training program. I won't go into detail here. What I'll do is I will take you through me going to my garage and doing the training program, and taking you step by step as to kind of how it will hopefully impact my game and turn some of these reds into greens. Cool. So next phase is to just get to work and start doing it.